Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I have a special video for you today. I am collabing with the Speed Addiction. I love this guy's channel. I watch all of his videos. He does reviews on fast cars, souped up tuner cars, and today he's gonna do a review on my 2020 Hellcat Redeye, and I'm gonna take you behind the scenes. But first, let's roll that intro.
I too wanna cry, gotta make I don't wanna cause no problems. I just wanna live my life, but I keep on hearing about nonsense. Me and my dons ain't mobsters, but you know when you see imposters, we know how to read them faces, same way you know how to read them comments. If you wanna talk, let's talk, but around here, make sure you walk and your talk is constant. What nonsense? I don't wanna hear about guns, I know you ain't here like the post was sponsored. You ain't never been down junction.
I'm here with the Speed Addiction. If you don't subscribe to his channel, you need to go there right now and subscribe. He's gonna be doing, a review in my 2020 Hellcat Redeye, and if you've not seen one of his reviews, you've not seen perfection yet. So make sure you go check out his channel and watch my car in a couple of days will be reviewed by this gentleman. And he's gonna be totally honest, right?
Yep, unbiased. I'm not American, but I'm gonna be truthful and unbiased. And really, I can't wait to get my hands on nearly 800 horsepower, 797 horsepower to the rear wheels. Let's get it done.
Awesome. All right, stay tuned.
All right, so one of the things that annoys me about filming is cars in the background, and all you hear is the noise of the car. It just kills that production quality sound, and I love trying to get good quality sound in my videos.
So we changed locations because there's a ton of traffic and it sounded horrible with all the background noise. So attention to detail, folks.
So it's
crazy.
If I stomp it, if I'm doing like 30 or 40,
It'll freaking...
It'll want to spin around or not?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll want to get away from you. It'll want to get away from you.
Even with traction control on?
Yep. Even with traction control on. It'll stop itself from getting away from you. But it'll, like me, I wet my pants. Like usually a little pee-pee comes out. And then my heart goes like this, and then I feel better.
Have you cleaned the seats yet?
I've cleaned the seats. So, yeah, it's crazy. It creeps up on you so fast, even when you're going fast. Because most cars, when you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour, you're like, I can stomp on it and do a pull. This thing, you stomp on it, and it spins. And if it's wet out, it's a full number 3 in your shorts. I mean, it's really scary. It's no fun.
I guarantee there'll be no number 3s on my seats today.
All right, let's go find a place to do the drive-bys. So we decided not to do burnouts in the church parking lot. Hey, you want to see a burnout?
Sorry?
You want to see a burnout? You want to see a burnout? Come on, man. Cut. Yeah?
Sure.
You do? Yeah? That's awesome. I got that guy to let me do a burnout.
He pulled me over and told me that he was very impressed. The car is impressive and he appreciated you doing that burnout.
I just made his day, right?
He did.
Absolutely. You made me dress up like that every day too. I'd want to do a burnout and see a burnout, right? Very, very pious, respectful people even like burnouts too.
Everybody likes burnouts.
Everybody. This poor lady with her dogs. She was not happy with me earlier when it came out of.
I saw that. She was completely unimpressed. So you're obviously an executive level.
Yeah.
Well, how much of that work-life balance do you give away? This is not correlated, obviously.
So with my job, my regular job.
Yeah.
So I am neurotic about having balance because I lost a lot of relationships when I was obsessed with work back when I was younger, and I'm glad because I got a good relationship now with my wife, but it was kind of up and down, you know. Girls would leave me after a year because I was never home.
It's a learning process, right?
Yeah, but now I am absolutely off work by 5:30, 6 o'clock every day, and I don't care what's happening. Unless the president of the company needs me for some emergency, I am absolutely unavailable. And on the weekends, unless, like, literally I might have one call every quarter on the weekends, because I've made it clear to everybody I work with that when somebody's really good at what they do, you wait for them to be available. You don't punish them for not being available. So I'm good at what I do, and as a result, there's not a lot I can do on a Saturday or Sunday to solve people's problems at work So just call me on Monday. And I want them to do it so that they get to spend time with their families. Because the belief, a lot of times, especially just in America, man, is you work 7 days, 24 hours, and that's the way you get successful. The problem with that is you end up dying early, losing your relationships, your kid doesn't know who you are.
Exactly.
So I started really getting the point across to even my boss, who's an amazing lady, that I just absolutely am not going to lose another relationship. I'm not going to end up in divorce, and I'm not going to have my daughter wondering who her dad is. But I will kick ass, take names every day at work like nobody else you would ever meet.
Yeah.
And I do really well as a result. You know what's worse than a manager not working enough? It's a manager going through a divorce.
Yeah.
An employee going through a divorce.
Yeah,
That screws them up, you know. And she reminds me, sometimes I get too much into work. Sometimes I'll get a little too focused and too screwed up in the head, even though I'm not working. She knows I'm thinking, I'm noodling, and she'll stop me and say, "You're not here. You may think you're here, but you're not here. You need to get here, or there's no point in doing this."
I think for me, my wife gets more frustrated with YouTube than my actual work.
Yeah, right?
Because I love my work, but I'm obsessed with YouTube.
Right? It's so fun, man.
I mean, me personally, and you might criticize this, but I have no limits to how fast I will drive.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But I'm not going to drive fast around other traffic.
Right.
I'm not going to drive fast in residential areas. So yeah, I might be doing 160, 170, 180 on the highway, but I'm not going to endanger others when I'm doing it.
No.
And I think a lot of people, I know it's wrong or illegal, but...
Well, I saw a guy beat me up on YouTube once. He's like, because I was talking about, if I'm driving to Vegas and I'm the only guy on the road, there's no one for miles around.
Yeah.
And I want to take this thing to 160, 170 and risk no one else's life but my own. And I have millions of dollars of life insurance for my wife to go get herself a 21-year-old stud boyfriend. No one should criticize me on that one. Now, if there's a family in a minivan that I'm trying to pass at, in a school bus, then criticize me. This guy's like, you know how dangerous that is. I'm like, dude, get over yourself. But yeah, what's the point, man? Go have fun in the cars. And if my car disintegrates on the highway, and I'm the only one that disintegrates, they'll come find my DNA, identify my DNA.
Yeah.
And my wife will get a bunch of money, and I will have gone the way I wanted to go. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I hope vaporizing doesn't, or vaporization, whatever,
right?
Doesn't hurt.
No, I had a friend of mine, a great guy, and he got diagnosed with a really bad cancer, and it ended up taking him out in a matter of a year. And I remember telling him, I called him one day, and I just said, look, dude, here's what I would do. If I was in your shoes, and this isn't to be insensitive, but he's not married, no kids, I would go to the nearest Lamborghini rental dealership, and I would rent one, pay the extra insurance. I would jump on the highway, get out in between here and Vegas. As soon as there's no cars around, I'd find out how fast that motherfucker goes, and then crank the wheel as hard as I can left, while I'm Facebook living, telling everybody that I'm going exactly the way I want to go, not the way cancer wants to take me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
I mean, who wants to die crashing? But dude, you can just hit 200 miles an hour in a Lambo, and you know that if you die right now, your adrenaline's pumping, your heart's pumping. You've never been more alive than that moment. Or you can wait till cancer kills you slowly. I'm cranking the wheel.
I don't know, man.
I'm cranking the wheel.
I think I'd rather overdose on morphine than do that.
Do both at the same time, man. As long as you're the only one going down, go for it. Think of that. How was it?
Yeah, it's cool. A little bit pedestrian, but not bad.
Yeah? I'm scared, dude.
No way. Let's move on to the next spot.
Alright, so here's how things go. got a nail while we're driving around. We're gonna fill this thing up with enough air so you can go do your drive, because the show must go on.
Exactly, that's the beauty of car reviews. Everything that goes wrong, or can go wrong, does go wrong. That's life. But I'm still gonna drive it.
And then I'll be at the tire shop today getting this tire fixed or replaced. That's a brand new tire. I'll make a shout out to Racer X. When he went and did a collab, he showed up with no gas in his car. So these kind of things happen, right? That's intense, dude. Oh, it's fast, right? I mean, it
is fast.
It's fucking. Whew. Yeah, I saw my life flash before my eyes.
Really?
I get it. I'm never the passenger, man. I'm always the driver. So, ooh, doggy.
I'm just taking it easy. I'm not used to the car yet.
It's all right. I've got a little. Change my shorts after this. Ooh, doggy.
So the car is fast, but it's not soil your underwear type fast. If you're careful with... So I'm very thankful for the linear throttle pedal. And just can't keep it pinned all the time. If you keep it pinned all the time, then you're gonna take off. I mean, it's monstrously powerful. And it's not tuned. This is... Let's go. I can feel the front of the car moving around. The suspension isn't that tied down, but I don't expect it to. I think it's that muscle. When the power band kicks in, you just feel the supercharger just lay down that power. There's another straight, here we go. Pushes you back in your seat, but still handles pretty well. You've got to be careful. It's a fast car. And alright, I think I've said enough. GoPro, stop recording. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over because my liability is over. I think I shit myself. Stop being dramatic.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, being the passenger in your own car. Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
Oh god, dude, you can drive. No question, you know what you're doing. But holy Nikes. I was like, oh man, that was exhilarating. You're cool as ice, man. I swear to God, I think I need to change my freaking underwear. More air, and then we'll get to the...
It's a beast, man.
Look it, my nipples are hard. Oh man. Well, I've never done that before. I've never ridden in my car with somebody driving it. So that was exciting. That's like going to Disneyland, dude. I felt like I was at Disneyland on Space Mountain, man, and I couldn't scream because you were filming.
So just imagine if I had this car for a week and got used to it and completely drive the crap off it.
Oh yeah.
What I could do.
That'd be crazy, right? So you guys can make fun of me in the comments all you want. That was scary. That was frightening. Being a passenger in your own car is always frightening. It doesn't matter what car it is, but this thing with an experienced driver pushing it, not even to its limits, that was intense. That was intense. I'm going to remember this for a long time. That was good.
I'm a novice, so I'm not an experienced driver, but I love driving. That's for sure.
Oh man. So you've driven faster cars than this. You know, so a lot of those tuners, 900 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower cars. So
yeah, I think the most powerful car I've driven is probably 750 horsepower to the wheels, but it's a much lighter car than this.
Right.
But what makes it harder to drive is the suspension. The suspension is a bit softer. It's not really a focused setup for canyons or track driving. So you really have to be mindful of that when you're pushing it. Always be aware of the level of traction you've got at all times. And also be aware of the speed, because this thing carries so much speed through the corners that you could be doing 1.5 miles an hour through a corner and you wouldn't realise it until it's too late. So there's definitely a lot of calculations that need to occur when you're driving a car and driving fast. So, and I think I'm going to say that there are a lot of people who are not experienced and want to buy these cars. I actually think that you would need at least 5 years of driving fast cars before you get into something like this. This thing can kill you and others in seconds. So you really have to be responsible with this type of horsepower and this amount of horsepower.
4,500, 5,000 pound missile.
It really is.
Yeah. And to see how fast things were going by us it was a blur. My eyes were going blurry. That was so fun. Yeah, it was crazy. All right, I think we got enough air. All right, everybody, what a day. What a crazy day. Hope you enjoyed the video with the Speed Addiction. He did like a review like I could have never imagined. I think you're gonna love it. So go subscribe to his channel and hit that bell for notifications so that when he posts that video, you can see the review on my Redeye, which he took this car to a new level, something I've not done. Is the video gonna be up?
Next weekend.
So by next weekend, so go check it out. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I appreciate you doing this. Made my day.
So Mr. Motivator, I appreciate you letting me drive your car and test drive it. And yeah, check the video out. I hope you like it. I definitely had a lot of fun. And I hope you guys too. And yeah, you got to tell Mr. Motivator to drive his cars properly. Because I was only going about halfway as I normally would drive because it's his car, not my own. So he's got to get on the track. I'm only kidding. He's a good driver.
No, it was intense. All right, thanks, man. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next weekend.
I don't wanna cause no problems. I just wanna live my life, but I keep on hearing about nonsense. Me and my dons ain't mobsters, but you know when you see imposters. We know how to read them faces, same way you know how to read them comments. If you wanna talk, let's talk, but around here, make sure you're walking your talk is constant.